Hello and welcome back to another lecture. In this lecture we're going to go ahead and use InfraWorks, do some traffic analysis and traffic simulation here. So one of the first things, after you open up your InfraWorks, and from here pick an area that you want to do a traffic analysis or intersection. So you got to go to a model builder and click on model builder, and from here type the address or go into area that you're familiar with and pick out an intersection. Once you find the intersection that you're looking for, we're going to move into aerial view and use your mouse right here, select the area. So I'm going to select the area, click on that button and pick out a good area. And then you're going to come back and name your model and traffic, call it traffic 1 for now. And then you have to select your coordinate system. Right here, click on LL84 for now, and later on if you need to change it, you can change that, not a big deal. Then once that's done, you can create your model. And it's going to take a while. Once it's created, we'll continue. After your model has been developed, you can open it up and go to your intersection. And from there, click on Analyze and go to Transportation Traffic Simulation. Then you go and pick out an area. Double click it. And it's going to ask you, there are some make a small area and hit yes. Sometimes you got to be careful. If you pick a large area, it will take forever to convert everything to a planning node. So what we see here, these red corner or purple color, they are your vertices of the area we have selected. We can grab any of these and we can expand it, or we can bring it back. The next thing we see these blue square color. What they are called demand zone. Demand zone mean it tells you the amount of traffic coming in this direction. And we have to go ahead and eliminate this one here, this one. So I like to need to have a 4 demand zone for this intersection, because I have to set up a matrices, which is a 4x4. So before I continue from here on, let's go see the set up the Excel sheet for the demand zone, and then we come back to this. Okay, so now we're going to look at this sheet here. Look at the data I have here. From zone 1, which is going from, say, east to west, I got 15,000 vehicle going through it. And then from zone 2, which is going north, I got 22,000 vehicle. And phase 2, we have the demand is about 16,000 vehicle. And phase 3 coming the other direction is 12,200 vehicle. One thing you have to keep in mind, this is the data you get either from DOT or from a town, or you can go on their website and pick these data out for the streets. Sometimes that's how you're going to get the data. You're not going to get the whole thing. If you can find the data with left turn and right turn included, then you're good. If not, you got it like this, then we go ahead and guess at it, and we figure it out how many of these vehicles are going to go left, how many are going to go right and how many going to go in through. And that's what we're going to do in here. Prepare this matrix. Then once we prepare this matrix, we're going to go ahead and put it in the InfraWorks. So I'm going to come back and take these numbers, put it over here. As you see I got 4 column and 4 row. On row number 1, the total right here, it's going to be 15,265. And 2, it's going to be 22,000. 3, it's going to be 12,200. And 4, it's going to be, I lied. 2 is 16,280, and let's fix back this, and then 4 is a 22,000. 22,000. So now we have this, and let's do the total right here. I'm going to go ahead and drag this and go up here, click auto sum, and that's the total. I want to know what is the percentage of total here, so I'm going to go ahead and click equal this number divided by this number here, enter. So that's my percentage manually. Equal this divided by this, enter. So there's all percentage. I'm going to go ahead and populate the cells. In cell 1, I'm going to say how many percent it's going through here from the total. So I'm going to say click equal. I'm going to have this number right there multiplied by this percentage over here. For 2, I'm going to go have this number. First click equal this multiplied by the row number 2 total percentage. So what we're going to say is the amount of vehicle that's going to go from 1 to 2, which is basically going straight through, is to be this percentage. We clean this up. Just let's go ahead and continue this. And 3, we're going to say equal the total of this multiplied by this percentage down here, enter. 4, same thing, equal this total multiplied by the row 4 percentage, enter. Gonna go with row 2. Row 2, we're gonna say, okay, we're in here at 2. We got to row 2 here. We're gonna say going from 2 to 1, 2 to 1, which is a straight through. I'm gonna take these, first type in equal. I'm gonna go ahead and take the total of this multiplied by we're going from 2 to 1, 2 to 1, so it's going to be going through percentage of 1, and enter. Same thing here. We go 2 to 2, which there's no such a thing as 2 to 2. We will take care of that later. That's why these cells are highlighted. So 2 to 2, it's going to be equal the total of here multiplied by 2 itself, which is right here. Enter. And then we go in 2 to 3 equal, and I'm going to go ahead and continue to do the same rest of them same way. Okay, now we have completed all of this. We're going to move on to step number 2. I'm just going to go ahead and grab all this right here and copy it and paste it to these cells right here. You see these highlighted cells, what do they mean? For if you look at 1 to 1, you have 1 to 1. Traffic cannot go from 1 to 1. It can go from 1 to 3, 1 to 2, 1 to 4. So I'm going to take the 1 to 1 number and I'm going to add it to the throughway. That's where the majority of the traffic is going to go, rather than taking the right or left. So I'm going to take this 3,544, add it to 1 to 2, which will be right this one, equal this plus this, enter, and I'm going to just go ahead and take this out. And I'm going back in here. This is 2 to 2, 2 to 2, so it's going to go 2 to 1. So I'm going to add this number to this number here. And therefore I'm going to say this is equal this plus this, enter, and take this one out. Going back to this one, again 4 to 4 doesn't exist, 4 to 4 go to 4 to 3, so this number we added over here, and that's going to be equal this number plus this number, enter, and take this out. Now our matrix is set up pretty good here. There is something that we talked about in class. We talk about k-value, and we talk about peak hour factor, which is the okay, if we look at the New York State DOT in their website, they say k-factor is the number of the vehicle in the estimated design hour as calculated from the last volume count expressed as a percentage of AADT. And for continuous data, this value represents the 30th highest hour of the count for short count data. So that's what basically your k-factor is. And if we go to Virginia DOT, for example, look at there's some of their count data right here. For a certain street they have, and you have your AADT, and then they have the k-factor. Normally ranges about 0.8 to 0.9 or 8 to 10%. And here they have 0.092. So going back to our spreadsheet, we're going to use a k-factor for this road based on NHDOT, and it's going to be 8.6% or 0.08. What I mean, we're going to take all these numbers right here, we're going to multiply it by 0.08%. So I'm going to go ahead and do that stuff on this one. It's going to be equal this number multiplied by 8.6%, enter. So finally we converted all of them to a peak hour design factor, and we're going to go ahead and use this matrix in our InfraWorks. Let's go back here to our model. Okay, now that we've seen the Excel sheet, the demand zone, let's come back in here and right click. From here click Traffic Analyst panel and click OK. It'll take about 20 seconds to set up. And you come up with this new window here. One thing I want to do, I want to make this, clean this up a little bit so I can see it better. In this new panel, kind of take about a minute or two, just look at the panel and see all the tabs and what they are. Go from a left to right, you see it says Cloud, Edit, Parameter, Control, Demand, Display, and Help. And then you come back in here in this panel, you're going to see Simulation, Analysis, Action, Layer, and View. For now, click on Layer. And you see all this stuff here, and just kind of look at them. Come down all the way down here, it says Images, and you can see there is a it's on. I want to shut off the background so I can see this better, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this Images, click on this button right there, and it will shut the images off. I can see things better, so I can zoom in. And you got one thing you got to be careful here is the command when you use your mouse in regular InfraWorks might be different here, so you have to figure that out. I just learned that. No, they're not that way. Okay, if I click the right mouse, then I can move things around. So if I look at the intersection, in the plan view, you can see these green ends. That's what the same as the blue marker we had in here in InfraWorks. That's our demand zone. And we talked about we'd like to go ahead and just keep this one, that one. That means we have to get rid of this here. So I'm going to zoom in right here. However, click on it, nothing happens. So you got to click the middle button mouse, and it tells you that's a zone number 6. I want to get rid of it. I'm going to right click, and then going to click edit, then click delete, and that's gone. And the next zone I want to get rid of is this one here. Same thing, right? Middle button, right click, and edit, delete. I have one more. No, I think that's it. No, I do have one more. That one right here. The reason we do that because the size of our matrix is going to become too long, too big, and you have to put all that stuff into it, which you can do. For now, this is just for practice. So I'm going to right click on it, a middle click on it, and once you see the orange button, what you have when you middle click, you see this orangey button, then you can right click and you can hit edit, delete. One thing I tell you, just with any computer program, you got to be patient, because sometimes you be hitting a wrong button and you know what's going on. Okay, so we got all 4 zones here. So now we eliminated those. If you close this up and start it again, which I just did, you should be able to see your, you can see right here that we eliminated those other one. All we have is this 4 demand zone. But you have to close this up and come back to it. Now while we're here, let's go ahead and go to our demand zone. From here you see these tab, click on demand, and click on demands again, and there's our matrix, but the matrix doesn't look like our spreadsheet. When we look at our spreadsheet, we want to have our demand matrix look like this: 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. But in here we have 2 3 5 7, 2 3 5 so on. So we're gonna make this up so it'll fit this spreadsheet. That's going to take a little bit of time, and it can be frustrated, but you got to be patient with it. Let me get rid of this here, and let's find out what they are. I'm going to click on 2, and you can see there's some number here. Don't worry about those. If I click on this, it will tell me 2, so zone 2 is right here. And then we have 3 is right here, 5 is this one, and then 7 is this one here. The reason don't say, if I populate this right here, put a number here, say 40 for example, and put 30 here, and that's why you see when you click on this 7 itself, it's only going, some of the traffic can go this way, some goes this way, and some can go straight. We will populate that in a minute, but first, before we gotta do it, we gotta fix our column heading. This in our, let's look at our spreadsheet again to make sure we have the same. We said 1 coming here, 1 coming straight, 2 3 5. So basically we're saying that this should be 1, that should be 2, make this 3, and make this 4. So let's find out what the zone is here to make this to a 1. Click on it. That is a zone 2. I want to make it to a 1. Luckily we don't have a number 1 here. We can easily convert that. But we might get to a point when we change something to a 1 and it's already 1 exists, it will give you a hard time. You have to work around it a little bit. And that's where your patient has to come in. So I'm going to zoom in here, and we said this is going to be 1, and middle bar, click on it, hit the middle mouse, and it's a zone 2, and I'm going to click right and edit, rename it, and then we're going to call it a zone 1. Click OK. So that's, you don't see the changes here until you hit this OK and then come back to it. So let's go ahead. So that one became 1, and we said this right here, it should be number 2. So hit escape, make sure you're out of it, and then right click it, and then you're going to find out that's a zone 5, and we're going to rename that to 2. It might say 2 already exists, and hopefully it doesn't, but it may. No, it worked out good. We locked out there. So that was 2, and whoops, escape. This is supposed to be 3, and our 3 is perfect, worked out good, and therefore we need to make 4. And let me bring this back in here. 4, it's going to be this one, so we're going to say come back in here, same thing, edit, rename, 4, OK, and I'm going to click OK right here. I've got too many things in this window. Let me get on my Excel sheet here and come back to it. And hopefully, to give it a minute or two, the changes should take effect. You might even have to close this right here and then start over again by right-clicking Traffic Analysis Panel, click OK, and have the changes to take effect. In our demand table right here, we have 1. We want to go 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to hit on 2 here and click the arrow, put it over there. 3, 4, perfect. 1 here. That 3 should go the other way. There it is. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and populate it. So in 1 we had 1 to 1 was nothing. 1 to 2 was 876. And 1 to 3 was 232. And 1 to 4 was 204. Come back to row 2. 2 to 1 is 935. 2 to 2 is nothing. And 2 to 3 is 247. 218. Okay, so now I've populated everything. I'm going to click OK. Let's get rid of this. I don't need this anymore. Okay, coming back to our model here. And one of the things I forgot to mention, right up corner here I have a copy 1. If I click that, I have my master copy. And the copy 1 is the one I've been working with. And let's go back, see what we have done here. We said analyze, and we go to traffic simulation, and it says there are no, we're going to click no because we already did this, and that's where we were here, and we had let's save this as a copy number 2 so we can click add, and I'm going to call it copy, whoops, copy 2. So it's like saving a file in different names, so you can go back to the original one in case you messed up or want to start over again. In here, so we're going to say no again. It's because we're in a copy 2. So I'm going to right click and go back to Traffic Analysis Panel. Click OK. So that's where we were last time when we left off. And if you remember, we had demand, and we had all of our demand populated. So if I click on 1, let me bring this back up here. This is 1, it's going from here, traffic going straight through and make it to this area to demand zone, and traffic makes it to this area demand zone. By traffic coming all the way here to the intersection to get there. And again, in here we gotta fix this because we didn't save it last time, so I'm gonna have a 1. 3 should be really down based on my matrices. That should be like that, and 3 over here. Let's make it like that. We save them like that. Okay. Click OK. Let's come back to it, see, make sure the way it is still. Yeah. So from here, looking up here, there's something called simulation. Click simulation, and make sure you click on a short morning. Okay. When you click on a short morning, and this light bulb here, let's kind of hit that one to activate short morning. When you do that, come down here, and you're going to see this trips AM60T1. Hit plus on this, and then you're going to come in here. You're going to click this, and you're going to see that you have this active one. Click on that active. Once you click this active, you can go up here, hit the plus. Add another one, and then it comes back in here, and it will shows as AM262. You can change the name if you want, or you can keep it the way it is. I like the way it is, so keep the default name. Click OK, and click OK again. Then we're going to come back in here, and up where we had highlighted, click on AM60, and you should see T2. Hit T2, and make sure it's active, and now we have it there. So while we're here, let's click play. See if we see anything. So when we come up to here and going up to this right tabs up here, hit control, and then hit intersection. And up here we have a number of intersections. We have about 11 intersections. Intersection 6 and 8 is the one we really the one that we focused on, which is right here. And while here, you can look at different things. If we go up to let me put this over here. Layer. Under layer, there's this standard. Hit the drop-down menu. Go to control. And we can turn off some layers in here. For example, let's click on this here, signal turns, and that will give us the signals. Let me put this out of the way here. Let me come up here. And this is our turn for different timing. And then we have a priority turn right here. We click on that, and that's your priority turn right there. Then we have a turn arrow. And this is your turn arrow here on the marking on the roadway. Come down here, click on for Blackwater Road, which is, I think is this road coming in here. If I click on it, you click on the other one, it tells you the movement of this roadway. And so now here we at this intersection, it has a different phase, and when this is basically it's showing when a signal turning light for left turn and for maybe through turn, and each phase coming on. We talked about this in class about different phasing using both signal timing using highway capacity and Webster method. But let's go over some of the stuff a little bit more. If you go up here under demand, no, I lied. Go under control. From control, click intersection. Then we're going to have this new window right here. And right now we're on intersection 1, which is this intersection. Let's go back to our intersection. Well, that's why we're here. This is we come back to this. Let's go back to our intersection, which was, we have an 11 intersection in this study area. That'd be intersection 6 or 8. I think it's 8. Yeah, it's intersection 8. And when you look at this panel, you're going to see a lot of stuff here. Let's talk about these. And these are different turns right here, and they are grouped. And we talked about phasing and grouping of turn. For example, if you look into right here, group 3, I'm going to click on group 3, and see, group 3 is that straight going through. That means when a light turn, it can go either way, through wave going from 1 to 2. And another thing can turn right here is also right turn here, which kind of shows a little bit quick here. So group 3 means once this light turn right here, you can go straight through or you can take a right turn. And group 2 is basically left turn right here, going left from both sides. And those are two are involved. So if I click on this one, it's this orange line right here. If I go to the other group 2, it's this one over here. So that means when the light can turn, these two groups can go at the same time when green arrow comes in. And group 1 is basically taking a right turn and or going straight through. And group 4 is taking a left turn from the other street coming down this way, which pairs up by itself. There's not much going in here. So these are the type of a grouping. Down here we have something called fixed signal. We can get about these cars. If you come up here, just click backward arrow, I will clean all up. And if we come up in the fixed signal, click either one of them. Let's click on this one. And you can see you have a free flow, you have yield, you have giveaway, you have stop, bar, and you have barred. Let me bring this in here. And let me put this layer on control. Now I can see these colors. So now we have all these fixed signals, free flow. Free flow obviously is mean if you can go from one side to the other side, that get the priority. Then you have a yield, then you have a giveaway, and it's a step below yield, and then you have a stop sign, then you have a barred, and if you can stop, for example, you can eliminate a left turn or a right turn, and you can do that and set any of these stuff up here. One other thing we can turn on here is the controller. We talked about controller. This is two-phase, has a two different controllers. So let's turn on the controller so we can see it. And this is our controller right here. There's two both different phases and two sets of controller. You can basically shut it off if you go ahead and click. Okay, the other feature in here, let's look at some other feature in this one. Back in here in this panel for the intersection 8, which is signalized, there's something called filter. And if we look at this movement, for example, that movement number 4 right here, let's look at the another one actually. That's going straight through. That is going right, and that is going left. And that's a 2, and 1 is going. So we're going to come up here and under the filter, we're going to say, okay, while group 1 is active, which is going straight and taking a right, we can say allow, put 1 in here. So basically what we said, when a 2 is going, which is this going straight through and right, and left turn should be allowed also if there's nothing coming this way. And that's what basically saying sometimes you might have that condition. Sometimes you might just say, no, you know what, we don't want anything, we want to bar it out and make it nothing to be there. And another thing you want to look at is the timing. We calculate timing in class using both method. And here the InfraWorks has the default right here. You have all different phases, and you have a green time, yellow time, red time, and then you have the total time right here. You can add phases if you want by clicking here, add another phase, or you can take it away. One more thing I want to talk about is up here, these marking. If you click on that, that will bring you the pavement marking that we have, which is right there. And we can, for example, if you have a left turn here on High Street, we can do something with it. We can just go ahead and make it a T, get rid of it, or we can go ahead and put in a right turn and make this to a right turn right here, to right turn like we see, and or we can go ahead and put it back in double. So you could go either way right here, or go back whatever we had, lane 1, lane 2, and each lane you can go ahead and make those modifications. Let's go look at another intersection that is close by, like this one right here. This intersection is not signalized. If we go in here, you can see a stop sign there. There's a stop sign here coming in, and you can see the different coloring, and those are based on this color right here. Turn free flow is right here, that color, and a red is a turn stop. If we go back, I don't know, let me find out what intersection was this one. So we can pull it up here. Let's go take a look at intersection. Just pick an intersection here, say 4. 4 is this one here. And this is movement for it based on this color. One of the things is you can click right here, and you can see you have a stop sign. You can change that stop sign, or you can make this to a stop sign or yield. And now it changed it, change the color, or make it back to a free flow. And even you can make this right here and change it just to left turn, or make it both way or straight through. One more thing, you can spend a lot of time in here and learn more about it. Really, it's kind of fun exercise. Let's shut off all some of these turns here and grab this layer says slash aspect and move it over twice and leave it right here, and you can see all the movement here. And if you notice this lane that comes in, take a left turn. Let's say this movement right here is taking a left turn here, and you want to make this an advanced stop, so the vehicle come up here and maybe perhaps stop right here. Let's click on this line right here, so if you can highlight it. Kind of hard to do. There we go. Got it. Once you highlighted this left turn and right click it, and there's something called here adjust, click adjust. Then you come up to here. You have a number of tabs up here: name, turn speed, advance, clearance, merge, cross, keep, flux. In here under advanced turn, go do the cell below it, double click it, and let's just put in like 10 seconds or 8, say 8, and click apply. Gotta hit enter first, and then click apply, and you can see right here it brings it right here. This is our stop bar. I mean, you can come up here and come up here, and once the lights turn green, you can take your left. You can move this bar ahead to a point that it's not on the way of the oncoming traffic. So if let's make this make to a 20, see what it's going to be happening. Double click it again. 20, hit enter and apply, and that's too far. So find a place that you wanted to have it. Let's do one more thing. If I go ahead, let's close these out. And going back to here, well, we had this when we ran the, let me tell you how you get here in case you don't have it on yours. Going back in here, analyze transportation, traffic simulation, analyze traffic simulation, click, and then we say, now we had this right here, we have this, and from here it says quick simulation, run simulation, click on that. And you can click play right here, and you can see all the traffic movement right there. There's all your movement. See, traffic's backing up here. Let me get this out of the way. There's the left turn movement. And right turn movement. This is pretty cool. It's really a good program, and have fun with it. And if this was useful to you and you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And I'll put more of these on YouTube in the future. Have a great day for yourself. Be good to yourself. Take care.